What's going on, family? I just want to talk about manhood and purpose. This is not even on some motivation. Just came home from practice and just had some things on my heart as it relates to men, and saw some things on social media. Shout out to my man Dorian, Group 82. He made a post and I made a response to it. So this is, inspired by that. But he posed a question where he was asking basically, why is it that black men either can't keep a job or, a lot of times you deal with different things in the workplace. So for me, my biggest thing is, for men, especially black men, understanding that on the natural side, right? So there's a narrative a lot of times that black men, we don't work hard, we don't do what we're supposed to do, lazy, good for nothing. All we know how to do is, lay it down in the bedroom or this, that, and the third, or, in and out of jail, right? But that narrative is really not true. There are a large majority of black men that work hard, large majority of black men that do what they're supposed to do, right? So for a lot of black men who don't do what they're supposed to do, they need to understand, especially when it comes to work, workplace dynamics, being in the workplace, that if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, a lot of times it boils down to understanding that nobody owes you anything. Nobody's going to give you anything. And a lot of times, whether it's right or wrong, we have to be twice as nice as our other counterparts, whether it be white men, whether it be men from other ethnicities. It's not fair, but that's just what it is. And again, nobody owes us anything. Nobody's going to feel sorry for us. My college coach had a saying, and he used to say it every day: nobody cares. That's not to say that people in your close circle don't have apathy for you, but in the grand scheme of things, you're dealing with things, nobody cares. So, but what I really want to hit on is the spiritual aspect, right? So understanding that as a man, we were made and fashioned to rule, to have dominion. We were made to be leaders, right? And a lot of times, and I've even struggled with this because I don't talk from a place of I'm talking down. I'm talking amongst my brethren, right? A lot of times we struggle with authority because we were made to rule. We were made to lead. We were made to call the shots, so to speak, right? Not to undermine the power of being under leadership. But there's a wisdom in that. There's a season for that. But we weren't made long term to submit, right? When it comes to being told what to do every day, all day, being belittled, being made to feel less than, being made to feel inferior. Really no human, but especially men, we're made to lead. That's why a lot of times men, they struggle with authority. And understanding that God made us to rule, he made us to lead, he made us to have dominion. And what happens over time, when men stay on a job too long or in a season that they're not supposed to be, the soul erodes. There's decay on the soul. So what happens, right? So I talked about purpose. It's been written, it's been said, I heard a wise man once say, where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. So God fashioned and created us to have dominion, to have rulership, to have rule, to have life out of the words we speak, right? So what happens over time is that when a man is not in that rightful pocket in his life, his soul begins to erode. So we talk about purpose and things that are being fashioned. If a Toyota manufacturer makes a Corolla, they know best how it was made to operate. They know best how it was made to function. Now, you may have experts, you may have mechanics, but only Toyota manufacturer has the most intimate knowledge of how it was made and how its capabilities are supposed to be at the highest level. Well, God, he is our ultimate chief manufacturer on high. He made us with rulership and dominion. And if a man stays in the wrong pocket too long, what ends up happening is his soul begins to erode and he begins to develop wounds on his soul. And the way he begins to drown himself or try to heal those wounds are only temporary fixes. That is why if you talk about a bird when it is flying, it's in its purpose. But a bird caged up, wings clipped, it will malfunction and die. Plant out of fertile soil, it will malfunction and die. Fish out of water, it will malfunction and die. A man out of his rightful place, not an assignment, not walking in his purpose, he will malfunction and be a death to all he's attached to. And what ends up happening is he drowns himself in alcohol. He drowns himself in drugs. He drowns himself in pornography. He drowns himself in the fact that, I got hoes. I'm taking them down. This, that, and the third. He drowns himself in the fact that, and this is not to undermine, physical fitness, but he drowns himself in his identity that I'm big, I'm strong. I got 22-inch pythons, biceps, this, that, and the third. He drowns himself in the fact that I'm going to give an allegiance to the streets, to blocks of areas that I don't own, to a vicious cycle of death, and that's going to give me completion. And all these things are just temporary fixes. All these things are like drinking Kool-Aid on a hot summer day. It'll be cool for a little while, but you're going to end up more thirstier than when you began. And once a man begins to understand and have an intimate knowledge that, hey, I need to be attached to purpose. I need to be attached to my assignment. I need to be attached to something that gives me meaning. Now, I'm not advocating, for cats to leave their job tomorrow, but if your soul is suffering, if you're frustrated, if you're angry, if you're dealing with a lot of feelings of inadequacy, if you're dealing with a lot of feelings of feeling inferior, this is for you. What I want to charge and challenge you to do is start taking time every day, just 5 minutes to think about. Because a lot of times we don't take time to think. Think about, what am I good at? What am I passionate about? What could I do for hours without realizing that I've been doing it for hours? What makes me the most angry? A lot of times things that make us the most angry, get us most stirred up, are things that we were intently designed, placed in the earth to solve. Then after you take that 5 minutes, start taking 30 minutes every day after work. If you work from 9 to 5, you go home, eat, whatever. From 7 to 8, 7 to 7:30, put your hands to that. Research it, putting time to it, right? Because what I want to charge and challenge you is this. Working hard on a job will make you a living. Working hard on yourself and walking in your purpose will make you a fortune. And what will happen is you start dedicating 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes every day to what am I good at? What do I want to do? What do I want to put my hands to? And over time, you build up momentum. You get that snowball effect. And over time, you'll start to put rubber to road and you'll start to make money, whatever that passion is, whatever that thing is. And once that is enough economically to take the place of the job, leave. Leave. Because at that point, your soul will flourish, right? And then at that point, you will begin to walk on your kingly frequency. And if you're walking on your kingly frequency, walking in your dominion, you will have an understanding of the type of queen you need to put together to walk in your empire. Then, because a lot of times brothers are abusive in relationships because they're out of pocket. I've been guilty of that. A lot of times we're frustrated. This is bothering us. So we lash out on the closest thing to us, being our woman. And a lot of relationships have been fractured because a man's not in his rightful place. But when you're in your rightful place, then you begin to flourish. You're in a position to evolve and pour into that woman. And she's going to be in a place of protection and peace. Biggest thing a woman wants is peace and security. And it's not necessarily financially, but that's being secure in your love, being secure in your leadership. If she knows that your leadership is strong and sturdy, she can rest in that. And everything around you will begin to blossom because you're in your rightful place. Those you do business with, your friendships, your business partnership, your own personal relationship with your physical fitness, and obviously your relationship with the Most High. So any man under the sound of my voice, man, take time to do that because it's not being documented enough. Too many brothers are sad, angry, depressed, suicidal. And a lot of these things can be alleviated if men start to take time to think about their purpose. And the last thing I want to leave you with, so much has been talked about purpose like it's a singular thing. Understand this. Purpose is at the core of you and it has branches. So while your core purpose may sit in the depth of your hearts, it has different assignments in different seasons. So it may look different in different pockets of your life. That's why it's up to you to stay plugged in to understand that. But if we don't start the process, then we're just going to continue to be angry, mad, frustrated at the world, feel like the world owes us something. And we'll abuse and destroy everything we come in contact with. And that is not what God wants from us, right? That is not what he designed and fashioned us for. Because watch this. He is designed in the success of our purpose and our assignments because he's created us. And he created us. He understands that if I created this, it's my best interest that it prospers and that it is good. But if you don't give him anything to work with, there it is. Faith without works is dead. So this is not on some motivation. This is not about content. This is not about likes. This is about views. This is just me, one man talking to another man, one brother talking to his fellow brethren. And I know this is for somebody, man. So I just want to put this out. So hopefully that it nourishes somebody, encourages somebody, get somebody out of a rut, choke somebody up into how they're supposed to think. And I just pray it's a blessing for you.